Our agenda for today is compliance, creating new vendors, entering payables, creating purchase orders, converting purchase orders, processing payables, and some examples of reporting. This presentation will be using a combination of the new accounting platform and the existing accounting platform. The definition of an AP clerk is someone who receives and verifies expense reports, reconciles expenses and other financial reports with account balances and other office records, facilitates payment of vendors, which may include verification of federal ID numbers, reviewing purchase orders, and resolving discrepancies. Our first section, we are going to talk about compliance. PSA provides some solutions to stay in compliance. Expiration dates, displaying a notification when an expiration date has passed. Preventing vouchers from being created when the expiration date has passed. And placing individual vouchers on hold. To begin, let's view where these expiration dates are located. On the desktop, you would go to Vendor Lookup, select your vendor, click the Detail tab, and then in the blue highlighted area is where you would enter in the specific type of license or certificate, the number, and then the expiration date. In the web, as demonstrated in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, there's also a Certificates tab where this same information can be recorded. For some expiry date settings, on the desktop, we would go into Company Preferences. There are two specific to expiration dates. One of them is to check expiry dates on vendor payments. The other one is to allow selecting vendors past their expiry dates. Both of these will give you a warning. Only one of them will allow you to proceed forward. On the web, on the right-hand side of the screen, there is a checkbox that gives you an auto notification of expiry. In the new proven accounting, it will function the same. Whenever you create a new voucher for a specific vendor that has an expiration date that is passed, you will receive an alert that looks like this. In the current accounting platform, the alert will look like this. Other than preventing vouchers when they have been created, when an expiry date has passed, you can put specific vouchers on hold prior to an expiration date passing. Once you create a voucher, you can then select to put that specific voucher on hold. This could be for a number of reasons. You could request a revised invoice from them. You can wait until work is complete and then pay them. Or you can wait until something is resolved, such as items on a punch list, to pay them. You will place the voucher on hold by clicking the checkbox in the upper right-hand corner of the voucher screen. This will then provide you a notice that asks you, are you sure you want to do this? You will select yes. You will also see this specific voucher on hold in the payable screen. This is where you can uncheck the hold option when you are ready to pay. We're now going to take a look at the new proven accounting and enter a vendor. Once you are in proven accounting, you will click on vendors. This will drop down a menu for you. At this point, you will click New Record. This will pull up a blank data entry screen where we can then enter all of our details. Once you are finished with the primary details, you will click Save. Whenever you click Save, you will then see other options appear. The Detail tab is where you would enter in more information, such as if this was a 1099 or a T5018 vendor, you would enter in the tax ID. You could enter in new contact licenses. You can also provide them with a credit limit, set their tax rates, and provide more detailed information specific to the vendor. Now, just like in the current platform, we have all of these tabs at the top. Log is where you would type in notes about the specific vendor. The history is where we would show all of the total vouchers, total paid, and the balance currently due. We could have multiple contacts for one vendor. We can upload documents like certificates of insurance or tax exempt forms. And we could also utilize user fields in the vendor section. Once we have our vendor created, we can now create a purchase order. We're going to go to Purchases and then Purchase Orders. Select a new record. We're going to search for our vendor. We need to make sure all of the fields are filled out. Ship to IDs are specific to when something is job costed. We will click Add New Line. For our purposes, we are going to change this to description only. Today, we're going to type in a description of we're going to then add the general ledger account. We can search by account ID, description, the type, header, sign, and if you have different currencies, the specific currency. We're going to choose the shop supplies account. We're also going to choose our location. The cost will be $500. Once we are finished with this purchase order, we're going to select Actions and then Convert. The system will ask us if we would like to convert to a voucher. We are going to say yes. It will tell us the purchase order has been converted to a voucher. Do we want to leave this purchase order and view the voucher now? We are going to say yes. As you can see, it now shows voucher details. It is changed from a purchase order to a voucher. We have our vendors, being Avenger Construction. We have the invoice date, the purchase number came through, the purchase order number came through. And we also have all of the details that we entered in the purchase order. If there's anything that you need to change, you can change it at this point. Otherwise, you would click the drop down and then click Post. Then you get a notice over here that says Update Successful. And you also have a notice here at the very top that says it's posted. Once we have converted this to a voucher, we are now able to pay it. We're going to toggle to the Payables drop-down menu. This will default to show you Payables, which is where we will select the voucher to pay. Now, this opens up the fields to add a discount, interest, and then your specific payment. You can either pay $250 to partial pay, or you can pay the full amount. We need to enter in a check number. And then in the upper right-hand corner, we click Actions and then Post. It will ask us if we would like to print the checks. We will say yes. This will then give us an option to print top, middle, bottom. Or for our demonstration purposes, we're going to choose top. Also, if you are printing a batch of checks, this will show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. You can print a batch. When you're ready, you click Print. This will then produce a PDF file in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. This will match your check stock when printed. Another way to pay a vendor is by a vendor prepayment. Sometimes vendors will request money up front before they are able to give you their invoice. This can be money for materials or a predetermined amount to start the job. To create a vendor prepayment, we're going to select New Record. We're going to select our vendor. We're going to double check that everything has populated correctly. We will then put in our amount, and we will click Save and Close. At this point, if we toggle back to the vendor prepayment list, we can see that we have our prepayment in the list to pay. Now I'm going to show you different reporting in the new proven accounting. The reporting displays a little bit differently, as it does not produce a PDF immediately once the reporting is queried. It produces a table that can then be filtered by company name, voucher number, date, if it was paid, the specific payment method, the total, if there's a discount, a rate difference, and the total amount due. Remember that this is a report section. Therefore, it's not going to show you only payables that you are wanting to post. This is all payables by date. If you would like to export this list, you can do so by going to Tools, Export, and then you can choose how to export it. It can be an Excel or a CSV file. Another report is Payables by Date Summary. We can then see the total number of vouchers for each individual vendor. If you would like to filter a date, you can use these invoice date, these filtering options up here. To review any open POs, we go to Purchases and then Purchase Orders. This will show you all the purchase orders and whether or not they are completed. To see the ones that are not completed, you simply filter to No, and it will refresh the screen and give you the purchase orders that are not complete. If you would like to see additional information on this view, you could add new filter criteria. Some examples of reporting in the desktop are the Aged Payable by Date Summary and the Aged Payable Summary. These look similar to what we have in the new accounting. However, in the new accounting, viewing these details is a little bit easier. When we go back to the vouchers list in the new accounting platform, we can see multiple things. We can see if a voucher is posted, we can see vendor prepayments, and we can see the total amount. If you need to change something, you simply click Details, you click Unpost, and then you can change the voucher. Same with purchase orders. You will click Details and then change what you need to change, and then click Update. If you would like a quick view of the posted payables, you can click Posted Payables and then also choose the details. If you would like to review the payables, you click Review Payables, and then you can view the history. In this voucher, we have a $180 voucher total and the amount paid. We click History, it gives us more details. Or we can simply view on the screen. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration of a day in the life of an AP clerk. Please let me know at this time if you have any questions. You can enter the questions in the chat box. Thank you everyone for joining. I can now take some questions when you're ready. I already have a few in the chat box, so I'll go ahead and review them. One question is, on the new PSA accounting, can we still convert a work order into a purchase order? So in the future, the work orders will be most likely converted on the web. It won't be converted on the accounting platform, but that will not be available in the first release. The next question is, does this talk to QuickBooks, or would this be in place, use this instead of QuickBooks? The answer to that is this would be in place of QuickBooks. Cher said, can you reopen a purchase order once it's been closed? Yes, you can. You can reopen one in the current desktop, so it will have the same functionality. And then Michael Scott says, do you have security on the history tab for vendors? So we are currently working on security. So we will have the same type of security, if not a little more stringent than what we currently have. And then I'm getting a lot of questions about the new accounting and when it is available. So our plan is to release this at the user conference. For those who join the user conference, there will be a sign-up sheet to be a first come, first serve type of situation. So people who are at the user conference will be able to sign up at that time. They will also provide pricing and instructions and other details at that time. So the other question I got, is this a choice or is everyone changing over? Currently, it will be a choice. It will not be a requirement at this time. And then share, we are working on automated invoice processing along with electronic payments to process those invoices. However, that is not going to be available at the first release. And then Lisa Kirby, this is actually an in-person conference. There is not a virtual conference. The question was how to sign up for the virtual conference. This is in person. It is in New Orleans, and I will get the email of the information out to you. Also, if we have sent several emails, like as an email blast, if you are not subscribed to that email, then you can send an email to support@canamsys.com and request to be subscribed. Michael Scott, if we already signed up with Ryan, do we need to sign up again at the user conference, or is this our spot already saved? I'm pretty sure it'll be your spot already saved. If you're going to the user conference, then it'll just be effective that day. Those are a lot of really good questions. Is the Search Express integration will be available on the first release? No, it will not be available on the first release, but it is in the works. Good questions, everyone. Do we have any more? I'll wait just another minute to see if someone types it in. Okay, if there are no more questions, we can go ahead and end our session. If you do have any questions, then you can email support@canamsys.com and we will be happy to answer it. I hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.